All right, guys, I will do my best to try and film this for you. And we are going to try and make some kimchi, but I ain't saying it's going to be an easy task, but we'll do our best. All right, so the first thing we've got to do is cut this cabbage up and salt it. So, according to what I've read and come across, we got to cut it in half, and then we got to cut it again. And we got to get all the moisture out of it, and we're going to do that by salting the heck out of it and then rinsing it. So then we got to cut her down here. Get this all out of here, get a stove down there, that's propane. And again, this is going to be, it's a little bit, it doesn't matter if it's a little dirty because it's all going to get rinsed and that. So that's all got to go into here. And then we're going to salt the tar out of it. I am just making a heck of a mess. I just don't have as much room as I'd like to have, but that's all right. Well, you know, as Captain Ron says, it's a boat. It can handle it. If we have to, we take it to the car wash and spray it out. Okay. Probably gonna have way more kimchi than I'm gonna want, but that's all right too, I guess. All right, it says a generous amount of salt in here. Because like I said, what it's going to do is it's going to suck all the moisture out of this darn thing. And that's going to set for an hour. And we can work on a couple of other things, but that's basically got to set for an hour. And that's where we're at with that. So I'm going to let that just kind of set up here and let that set for a good hour, and we can work on some of the other little things that we've got to do to make this. And I think I'll probably get a couple, three mason jars of this stuff. All right, as you can see, that stuff is wilted down quite a bit, so we're just gonna, we've got to rinse all this salt off this Napa cabbage. Ready to start working on the other part. You can see all the water that come out of that. There's quite a bit of it. We just have a little colander here, so we'll just use that to try to drain and get all this stuff, get all that salt off it. I would use the water out of my big jug here, but that water is, you know, that container's had some soap in it and stuff, so I don't want to use that. I hate using good water, but we'll flush that all out. Try and flush that out. So then we can go ahead. We can go ahead and move this back. I did a little preliminaries here. This is going to be the paste, and we have probably a couple of good sized pieces of ginger all cut up in there, fish oil, quarter cup, or no, quarter cup. We put some bok choy in there, 9 cloves of garlic, a carrot, Asian carrot, and we have got to put, let's see, what else we got to put in here. I guess that is about it for that. And then this will go into the NutriBullet. We'll grind her down to a paste, and then we're going to put the pepper flakes in, and it's about a half a cup, I think it was, of pepper flakes, and then that'll be the paste. Then all this will go in there. We'll mix it all up, and then it goes into the things. But we're going to cut up the rest of our stuff that we need here. And I got tired of that little small cutting board, so I went for $9. I went and got one of these. It's big enough. It actually fits across the sink, so it works really well for that. So we're going to cut the rest of this up. I got a ton of ginger, which I'll use for later use. Put ginger just about in everything, and I got some sesame seeds to go with. Okay, we cut up onion. We cut up some green onion, kind of a little bit, 2 different kinds of onion. Didn't have to, but I went with it. One recipe called for it, one didn't. So you kind of go with a little bit of what you want. So anyway, now they called for some Asian radish type of thing, but I couldn't help it. I just don't have it. And the Asian market was 20 miles away, so it's like we're just going to put some radishes in here because they're very close to that. They should be just fine for what we're gonna do and whatnot. I don't want to put too many in there because the one recipe said if you do too many, it kind of has a little bit of a horseradish taste to it or something like that. I don't want that. So, well, again, when we test this and see how it tastes, we'll go from there. Carrots calls for two big carrots, so I'm going to go with 3 carrots because these are kind of small. And yeah, I can't wait to get a big stove in here, get it set up. And you know, the other thing, like I said, plan is to put an actual apartment size fridge and freezer in here. Then we'll use this. I was going to get another one of them, but you know, as much as I like to cook in that, and if you know, I may be around, you know, it may be around in Michigan in the fall, and if that's the case, it's hard to say. I mean, we may fish all summer, and we'll be able to freeze up some fish. Anyway, we may be able to freeze up some fish throughout fishing for the summer. I'll go ahead and harvest 1 deer, and we'll do a video on that, and I'll freeze up the venison. We'll make, my dad's got the grinder and the sausage press and smoker and all that stuff. He does all that, so we could do some of that, make some sausage, make some breakfast sausage and all that, get that all froze up. I think what I will buy, if I decide that's what I'm going to do, is one of the vacuum sealers, so we can vacuum seal some of this stuff. But I love to cook, I really do. I wouldn't want to do it for a living, but I do love to cook. I love to make, and it's more Paula Deen style cooking. It's more hardiness, like venison stew or rabbit stew, or you know, it's meat, potatoes, and it's the old hearty kind of chow. And anyway, that's my thing. The other thing, I'd like to get out and get some morels picking this spring, and get some of them, get them vacuum sealed, and maybe dehydrate them or whatever, and put them away. And it's just a matter of getting some of that stuff done, and I really like doing that. So you know, we'll see what happens. So I am going to julienne all these up, and then we'll start getting everything put together here. A lot of people you know, have a peeler. I flayed so many fish and have cut up so much game and stuff pretty good with the knife. I can peel these things up pretty small. So, but anyway, we're gonna kind of julienne these, and again, it takes, you know, it's a lot of time invested, but I guess what else do we have to do? So that's what we're going to do to all these carrots, is get them julienned up kind of like that. They can be various sizes, no big deal, and those will go in there. So I'm going to work on getting that done. As I said, I don't think you want to watch too much of this, otherwise this video is going to get to be a 30-minute video, which I know some people don't mind it, but I don't want to bore you too bad. Long day putting this thing together, but anyway, we took the NutriBullet here, and we processed that, put all my stuff Ziploc bags are amazing. I hate that they're plastic and that kind of thing, but God, they're just amazing to use. And I try to reuse them if I can. I don't really go through that many, but anyway, we're getting everything in here. And all right, so now this paste has to go into here. We do the pepper flakes, and we want about a 1/4 cup of those, so let's go ahead and, I know that's right about there. Dump them in there, put these back in there, some garlic. Mix this all up in here. And then this goes in here. So we just get in here, we're just going to massage all this in, all this stuff in here. Ooh, man, that's got some potent smells. It smells good, but it's potent. And then, like I said, what makes kimchi is the fermentation, of course. Oh, wow, that is amazing looking. All right, so there's the goodness. Ooh, it does have some flavor. So anyway, now we're gonna let it set for just a little bit, and then we're gonna get a couple of good mason jars ready, and then we'll punch it down into the mason jars, and it'll set up here on the counter and be ready to ferment for a few days and just get that goodness in there. All right, so now we just basically start stuffing this in here. And as I said, I may have to get some more jars because I'm going to end up having way more than what I need here. If I knew somebody down here, I'd call them and tell them come on over and get some kimchi to put in some jars for themselves, but I don't know anybody around. Alright, so we want to get it in there, and then they say you want to try and squeeze out all the air, and then whatever kind of starts cranking in there is just fermentation. Amazing yummies. I'm going to try and get some of the juices down here in the bottom, so it's got some juice to work in there. And then the key is you don't put the lid on very tight. You want it to be able to bubble. So that's basically kimchi, guys. That's going to bubble and ferment for 7 or 8 days. We'll set it somewhere in a better spot, but we'll get that done, and let's work on another one. Oh, it's just such glorious goodness. Too bad, I almost could get this in there. Maybe I will just do 2. God, I hate to throw anything out. There ain't much left, but on there just lightly, I don't know, a little bit of juice is there. So that's it, guys. That is kimchi, and in about 5, 6, 7 days we'll try it and see what we think, and I'll give you whether it was good or whether it was bad, but that's basically how it's made. Time to clean up, the worst part of the whole thing, especially when you don't have really good running water, but that's all right, we'll make it work. All right.